I'm Missy Day. This is 50 Shades of Blonde.
She forgot where we are. 50 Shades of Blonde.
Yeah, we're back.
And I'm Jill Branson.
And
with
it's her
50
birthday.
Shades. And
Happy birthday.
And with us is our first guest, Sandy Sinecrope, and she is the CEO and chef at the Joyful Kitchen.
Yes.
So welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. This is fun.
We're so
Good.
excited to hear your story.
Good.
Let's hear it.
Well, I started the Joyful Kitchen. I'm a UCLA culinary grad from many moons back. Went into a couple other businesses after graduating. I had a catering and gourmet food shop in Arcadia, California. Was super busy. Did some off parties for the Emmys while they were in Pasadena. Did all the major big stores, the Bullocks on Lake.
Oh.
We were their in-store caterer for years, and got really busy and got really burned out very quickly. And sold my business to an employer, and then he couldn't handle it either and sold it in 6 months. So I went to a couple other businesses and decided I really missed foods and got back into culinary, and I created the Joyful Kitchen. And it's all about having fun in the kitchen. That's why that F-U-L-L is full. We're going to have lots of joyful.
That's so cool. I love that name.
Me
Thank
too.
you. Thank you.
Because I'm not much of a cook.
Good, then you have to join us.
Yeah.
We do team building, we do children classes, adult classes. I do nanny and mommy classes and daddy and daughter classes, so it's fun. It's a fun time. And truly, it's all about the joy in the kitchen.
And just building those relationships with strangers that come into the class, and you get to all experience that.
And everybody relaxes and takes a breath and knows that there can be mistakes made and we'll survive and and go on. It's a good thing.
Well, I know I'll have some mistakes. But it'll be fun, darn
I
it.
have mistakes. We all have mistakes. Yeah, and they're fun. You learn from them, and you laugh about them, and you think,
Right.
okay, well, next time I know what to do better. Yeah,
So what are some of the things that you can make in the kitchen?
with the children or with the adults.
Both.
For my last class, we did a chicken mole, which was a chicken taco in a mole sauce with fresh Mexican cheese, queso, and then a smoky black bean side dish and some jicama and tangerine as a relish.
Oh, that sounds wonderful.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a
yes.
really good combination. Yeah. And then we do all kinds of things. We do paella and we do desserts. I'm not a pastry chef by any means, but when I have children, we all play with the pastry bags. They have a torch. They've learned how to make the creme brulee.
Oh, fun.
So yeah, they get to play with things that their mom would probably go, "There's no way you're touching that torch." But they get to do things, and they actually use the knives. I have a set of knives that are children friendly, not as sharp as my professional knives, because knives are
Right,
sharp and
those
they'll
are
cut
really
fingers.
sharp.
So yeah, but they learn how to cut correctly, and they learn safety in the kitchen. Like if they're at the stove and they turn, they have to learn to say behind you. So that they're
Exactly.
aware that there's other people in the kitchen working, because they start focusing really heavy on what they're doing. They're kids and adults too. I should say, because adults do the same thing. We start focusing on that project because it doesn't become food at that point. It's a project, and you want it to be perfect, and everybody else is gone. You're focusing on
Right.
that. Yeah.
Right.
So you learn to work in the kitchen together. So and that's where the team building. I do a lot of team building classes where companies will contact me if they're a new company or a growing company, that they can bring their team in and they do a project together. They kind of tell me what kind of foods the team like. We kind of do it, and I'll set up a menu specifically for that company, and then halfway through, they switch. So if you were doing paella and you were doing something, you'd switch, and you'd have to communicate to her what step you're at so that she has to go on, so that the finished product gets done, but you work as a team to get it there.
Oh, wow, that's really cool. I
Oh.
like that a
Yeah.
lot.
I do too.
Yeah. It's a good way for building team.
Oh,
Yeah.
we know a lot of people who have teams. That's
Good.
perfect.
Pass them over. We love it. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
So do you ever do like a thing where like a bunch of girlfriends would come
We
in?
do at bridal parties. We've done that.
Oh.
We do a fresh pasta class usually. For some reason, a lot of people are intimidated by that pasta machine and making fresh pasta. They like that. We always start our classes with a bit of bubbly, be it sparkling cider or champagne. So everybody relaxes, takes a breath, and gets in that joyful mindset. And then we go on with that. And it's to be fun. It is not to be stressful. Nobody's judging you.
Right.
Yeah. And it all tastes wonderful. And then I have a huge dining room, and everybody sits down and they talk about what they did and what they're going to do and how they're going to work that into their lives. And yeah,
That is so cool. We need to do that as a girlfriend
Yeah,
thing.
I think so
I would
too.
love it. Yeah. Yeah.
How
That'd be
long
fun.
is the
The adult class is 3 hours,
Okay.
and it's usually in the evening. And then the children's class I have broken down because the age for the children is 5 to 13. For the younger children, it's an hour class. Then we take a break, and the little ones kind of go home, and then the older to 13 stay and finish an hour and a half of another class. So it can be
Wow.
an hour and a half to 3 hours.
So do you go on, how do people like sign up for classes? Are you online that they can go
I
and
am
sign up?
online. My website is under construction as we speak, but I have an email account at thejoyfulkitchen@gmail.com. So yeah,
Okay.
and then my phone number is 702-487-6008. And for your viewers that watch you, if they call and say they watched us in Sausalito, I'll give them a 10% discount on any class.
Oh.
Very cool. So if you're watching and you're a 50 Shades listener and you want to start cooking up cool stuff in the Joyful Kitchen, mention that you heard it here and you'll get 10% off.
Right.
That's very cool. So, do you like do baking at all?
We
like,
do a lot of baking.
Can somebody teach me how to make a pie?
I can teach you how to make a pie. We can do lattice. We can do
Awesome.
meringues. Yeah. Another thing we do that's really kind of fun is we do restaurant tours. And I know you're going to have a couple chefs from the stove.
Right.
And we're visiting the stove in September. And the name of our stove tour is Sitting at the Cool Kids Table. Because not only do we sit at the chef's table in the restaurants, we go in the kitchen and they prepare something specifically for our group. And then they tell us how they got to that point of what it is.
Oh,
If
that's
they
really
procured it from
cool.
an organic farm or wherever. And then we get to go sit at the Cool Kids Table.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's fun. And we're doing Americana in October at Desert Shores. We're doing Eat Downtown, I believe, in November, and then the stove next month in September. Yeah, so we're busy. Yeah.
Wow.
December, we're doing a partnership with One Hope Wine. We're doing a tapas cooking class to learn how to make tapas, which will be great for the holiday season if you've got people coming. And then One Hope Wine will do a free wine tasting afterwards, and we'll enjoy our tapas while they do a presentation on wine tasting. I think it's important to give back. Yeah.
Just think, you could like go to the Joyful Kitchen and learn how to make some fabulous dish and surprise Ron.
Yes, and he would be so shocked. If you are listening to this, Ron, you didn't hear that.
He'll love it. What a nice surprise. Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
I'd love
he's
to have
the
it.
chef. He loves to cook, so I just kind of stay out of the way.
Good. As long as you don't have to get cleanup duty all the time, and you always.
Well, I'm the cleaner.
Oh, now that gets old.
You know, it does
Yeah.
get old, but you know, it's therapeutic. I don't know what else to say.
And her husband's a really good cook.
Oh, I love it. I have a lot of people that are really good cooks, and they'll say, you know, I really love to cook, and they'll come just for the joy, again, of cooking with a group
Right.
of friends, having a good time, getting out of their own kitchen, trying something new. They may have never seen that recipe, or they've made it a totally different way. So it's just, you know, it's just a fun time. Yeah, even if you're a really good cook. Yeah.
Well, there's a story behind that with Ron because they go hunting in October and they have a Gucci camp because they've got a whole setup and two of them are chefs.
Wow.
And so they eat very well.
Nice.
But
nice.
they hunt hard.
What
But
do they hunt
eat
for?
really well. What's that?
What are they hunting for?
Elk.
Elk. So he brings home a lot of elk meat.
Well, yeah, sometimes. Not always.
Oh.
Sometimes they have a good year and they might get two, you know, but it's a lot of meat. When you get
Yeah,
an
I
elk,
bet.
it's not little.
Do you?
It's big.
One person gets one elk. Is that the way it works?
Well, and whoever gets it, they share it
Yeah.
amongst everybody. They fluctuate between 4 and 5 of them at camp. So,
Wow.
you know,
I don't eat meat, but I know elk is supposed to be one of the.
I love it.
Really,
It's really good.
yeah.
I think
So-
it's better than beef.
Really?
Oh, I do too. And
Yeah.
it's lean, and if you there's all different ways to cook it, and
Yeah.
it comes out really. Not that I do that, right? But
Well, you know what you're supposed
I
to
know what
do.
I'm
Yeah.
supposed to do. It's really good.
Good. What do you do with it? Do you cook it just like hamburger or steak?
Yeah, you can have hamburger. You can have
roast.
jerky.
Mhm.
Oh,
You can
really?
have,
Okay.
It comes in just little steaks, or that's all kinds of ways.
Nice. Like I said, I don't eat meat, but I often teach people how to eat, how to cook that meat
Uh-huh.
if they're doing a fillet or whatever, or a prime rib. A lot of people are intimidated by the size of a brisket or a prime rib, and we'll do a lot of those type of cuts so that they get the experience of them. Yeah,
So that's good to know too.
yeah.
Well, one more time, excuse me, let our listeners, viewers know how they can get a hold of you.
You can find us at thejoyfulkitchen@gmail.com, and that's joyful with 2 L's. And my phone number is 702-487-6008. And that's a $10 discount for your viewers, so go for
For
it.
10%.
$10. Did I say 10%?
$10.
$10, yes. $10.
Okay,
$10 on
$10.
any class, adult or children.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being on the
Thank
show,
you for
Sandy.
having
We
me. I
appreciate
loved
it.
Thank you.
And stay tuned for our next guest, Sandy. Another Sandy, Sandy Gerard.